Introduce yourself, please. And
I do want to film it. This is my first time doing this.
because you're doing this is more important. You're the first speaker of merit and distinction that's entered the park today. So it's very important just for the records and for the world around to indicate that Speakers Corner isn't just about religious people, but also about people of who believe what you've just said. So if you want to introduce yourself, you can or not. My channel, my name is Dust.
Okay.
I'm a speaker here at Speakers Corner.
Okay.
And also I've just started literally a YouTube channel called the Age of Dust.
All right.
And I'm trying to grab people of great merit and thought, and not so great merit and thought as well, of course. Not you, of course. And so if you would like to introduce yourself and then articulate what you feel you just feel needs to be said.
My name's Chris. I'm a Londoner. I am definitely a Londoner, born and raised. Love London, love my city, love my queen. Definitely love the woman. I read a great quote from her the other day. I can't remember it right now, but it was just a lasting memory to myself. And my call, and what I'm saying to people is that, what is your MVP? What is most valuable? Who is most valuable to yourself? And this is a big thing, because today we live in a world with lots of different races and people, lots of different thoughts and thinking, and I have to remind myself that I'm a human among humans.
Beautiful.
And that's what I think humankind goes away from. With all the divisions and everything, it's something. That's why I say, who is the most valuable person to yourself? And to remember this when you're out amongst the humans, is that a kind word, because we are mankind. A nice smile, maybe a helping hand sometime. To remember that no matter what we're doing, our lives are busy, and some of us, our lives are going in different places. But at the same time, to remember that we are people. The nation has lost a great person. Sons have lost a mother. Grandchildren have lost a grandparent. And to many people, she was the most valuable person to them. And that's why I shout MVP. The most valuable person, the most valuable parent. And this is what I say to people. So yeah, sorry, there's a lot of, I'm not really a shouter. I think the message can be given to people easily.
You have a very beautiful and distinctive voice, though, so don't worry about the noise that's manifesting elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You have a microphone on you, and we're hearing what you're saying. What do you think it means to be, you were talking just a moment ago before I set my camera up, what it means to be human and your idea of humanity. Would you like to touch upon that again, please?
My idea, when someone says to me, I always say,
last week we got discussed about humanity is
Let him just do his thing, please. We'll come to you in a moment. You were very well behaved. Sorry, what are you saying?
When someone says to me a word, I think of what's the first thing that comes to my head. And when someone says humanity, I say togetherness. Yes? I say togetherness. And it's the root. Humanity is the root. Togetherness is the branches. They hold us. We are from one. And I only remind this, I only dive into it deeper only because sometimes we forget this. We forget that in the sea of people, with all the noise and that, you know, that we can just take a minute to remember humanity and remember ourselves.
I think that's very profound and beautiful and absolutely required from all of us. So, what would be your first recommendation of how to search that humanity? I know it's a tough question, and it's still quite early, but still, I think it's a valid question.
I say is to be out in the world, to see the world, you know, to contemplate the world, you know, contemplate the interactions, you know, contemplate what you see, you know, ask yourself, how does it make you feel? You know, because we are saturated with different things, TV and internet, and it's a beautiful thing. There's pros and against, and I'll just say it's just looking at the world and looking at ourselves and our lives and contemplating. This is a big start, because you're asking the question. You're not giving an opposition, or you're asking the question. You're asking a question. Why? You know, you're trying to get to an answer. When you do or you don't, whether it's 2 or 4, to get to that why, you get the understanding of people, the differences of opinion, differences of color. And this is why I say contemplation is key. I contemplate. So then I hear the answers of both sides, all different sides. It gives me an understanding for my filter system.
And do you feel that in this society we live in, which is profoundly inflicted upon by austerity by those the rich, do you think austerity means we have an opportunity to be able to look into ourselves as well as look out as well, of course, but the journey inwards is also very, very vital? Do you feel that austerity enhances that, or restricts that wonderful journey on the inside, though long, can be painful?
I see, like I said, there's going to be austerity, there's going to be depression, there's going to be poverty, and there's going to be happiness. Again is the big thing to make sure that whatever you're going through, is to making sure how you feel about it is something, you know.
But just because in poverty, instead of that journey that we should have internally and externally, but poverty means we have to be working all the time. We can't have the resources and the free time that is required, because we need to be able to read, we need to be able to have electricity and feed ourselves, and despair and hunger and desperation. That's the very antithesis of what I believe that you're saying.
And I say to this is that with what I've gone through in life and what everybody has gone through, this is lessons learned. These despair brings a lesson. Poverty brings a lesson. Wealth brings a lesson. And in our journey from start to finish, it's the lessons that we learn that aid us on our journey. And we will never be free of despair, love, loss, poverty, or wealth. We will never. These are things that we all face as humans, just at different times with different people. That's one thing I realized. You will go through those feelings of loss, grief, love, but you will go through it at different times with different people in your journey to the end.
Yeah, that's a very romantic way of looking at it. But if you're hungry and starving, and your children are dying in front of you, the internal search is something which cannot be happening. They only search that human being, which is quite a lot of human beings on this planet, by the way, and throughout history that's been quite a lot of human beings on this planet. Wow. Sorry, let me just alter the altar. there's no lessons to be learned from that. And let's not forget that all poverty and despair, nearly all, is designed on purpose into our society through the means and tools like austerity, war, racism, and other insidious tools of repression.
They might have. I wouldn't say they wasn't designed by.
Oh, that's interesting.
They wasn't designed by.
Why wasn't it designed?
It wasn't designed by the designer of the universe.
No, I was never claiming that.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. So what I was gonna say is this: is that man only excited. They use the tools that they know the humans, and they're excited. So what I say is this: that we're gonna go through those emotions.
No, this is not emotions. This is deliberate policy to repress and enslave people.
I cannot.
What kind of human being?
Yeah.
Are you aware that human being exists? It's a stupid question. I'm sorry, I have to ask it, but are you aware that human being exists that deliberately represses and enslaves?
There's people that exist that do all types of things. I've learned in my short time.
Yeah, we're just focused.
So when it comes, because like I said to you, I'm a person that contemplates. Like what you're saying is as a word and emotion wise, and I have to say it coming from all sides of the way I think. You know what I'm saying? I just have to do that.
Yeah.
So what I say to you is that people do all sorts of things, and what I say, my shout again, MVP is what is the most valuable most valuable thing to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the bills come through. The letters, the bills go up and they down, and people are in their houses and they're stressing, and all you can do really is just say to yourself, like I say to myself, is to recenter myself. The bills are gonna come, austerity is gonna rise, poverty, death, man. Like I said, with all the information we have, it's just to center the self and to move forward with the self.
Well, there are people that are enslaved, and there are people that do live in poverty, hunger, and despair, and are facing eviction all across the world. I think your message does absolutely nothing for that group of people, which is a large group of society. It's not that I believe you're trying to be dismissive of a lot of people on this planet, but what you have said is utterly dismissive of a lot of people on this planet, because without the resources of education, the resources of eating food, which unbelievable, we still haven't discussed in the 21st century that people still
the waste and things,
don't have access to food, and big companies like Sainsbury's actually literally chuck food away every night. So do you not think maybe that should certain punishment be made for people that own organisations like Sainsbury's?
You're talking about, see, now this is something politic.
Everything you said.
No. When it comes down, you're talking about punishments of people and things like this, and these are for government. We can't do these things as a people. The government do these things. They punish these organisations, or they leave these organisations. Yeah. So what we can do is this. What you're doing is right now is spreading the message. The message has to come first. I'm not being dismissive of anything.
Good.
What I say is this: is that the people need to understand their self, and through understanding the self, will understand more of what is around them, and then for those people who can make the decision to make the change, like yourself, who's seen what is around him and said, I want to make a difference, and you started the question, you started the talk, and what will you start next, my brother?
Start next is a YouTube channel called The Age of Dust. Subscribe to be wise. I think you're creating a paradox in society where you're asking people to be nobly and beautifully asking them to do this internal search, and yet at the very same time, the people that are getting richer are profiting from our poverty and inability to be able to go on this wonderful search. So I think we've concluded that part of the set. Would you like to join in, by the way? Anything to say?
I'm just listening.
Just listening. So is there anything else you'd like to add as you are the guest on my YouTube channel? You should have the last sentence and word.
Like I said, humanity. Understanding ourselves and understanding the world that's around us instead of just walking by it, will help us, give us a way to deal with the solutions that the problems, or even add to the gifts that we have in this world. It's not all about problems. There's some beautiful things happening. How can
Yeah.
we make them things? How can we add to those things, and always and find the balance with the poverty and the things that are going on, and aiding the harshness, and then aiding the good that's going on.
Can you name some of the things that you regard as beautiful in the material as well as in the mental?
Well, like I said to you, it's to understand the humanity. This is a big thing, is to understand the world we live around.
Exactly, but you've covered that subject.
Yeah.
I'm asking you now, what do you find beautiful?
What do I find? Do you know what I find beautiful is the people.
Nice.
And this is why I said, I'm sorry, no.
What was you looking at?
Yeah, where you
I'm
from,
joking.
sir? Where
You're
you from?
lovely.
Where you from, sir?
Canada.
Canada, yourself as well.
Montreal, Canada.
It's good to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
What it is
Great to meet you. as well.
yesterday I met some guys from Spain. What I call it when I meet guys, because I'm homeless in central London, is I call it I trade worlds for a little while.
Sorry, you're homeless, did you say?
Yeah, it's
Well,
personal choice as well as. But at the same time,
you're literally the people I'm talking about.
and at the same time, it's meeting the people and talking, and this is how, through understanding each other from no matter where we're from, be it Canada or London, or to have that better understanding. And that is what's beautiful, is that we trade understandings and trade well.